Hi guys, Dave Pinson here. The yoke and the cross. This is like almost like a part two because I did another video called "What It Means to Bear Your Cross," which is different than bearing burdens that are put upon us by life, by the devil, by God, whoever puts the burdens on our life, the things that we have to live with, the hardships of life, or sometimes just the little daily annoyances that just kind of weigh us down. As opposed to following Christ, he says, pick up your cross and follow me. That's different. That's something we do. That's a decision we make. Discipleship is a decision you have to make daily. It's uh, it's a little different than just calling yourself. As a matter of fact, I'll just put it out to you. I think a lot of people who call themselves believers, who go to church and who pray and who do, they try to learn about God and grow in the grace and knowledge of God. But I'm not sure that they pick up their cross and try to follow him. I don't know. That's something that I've noticed in people's lives and the verbiage that people use even from the pulpit sometimes. That's why that's I don't know why I don't have many followers. I don't really care anymore. I'm giving that to God. But I was reading in the Bible. Oh no, I was in my devotional this morning, and I think he was talking about pick up your my yoke is easy. He was actually talking about exactly what I just did a video on a few days ago about you know it was another one about which Christ do you follow, the easy yoke or the very hard die to yourself? Which one is it? And so I was curious, so I looked up the word. Say, whenever I'm curious about something, and it keeps sticking in my craw, and I keep chewing on it. So what does that mean? Take up my yoke. My yoke is easy. Well, so you look up the word easy, and hang on a sec. It's very cool. It's very good to look into these things because a lot of times you just think what you have a thing in your mind. You think, well, as an English speaking person, this is what the Bible says and this is what it means. Not realizing that it wasn't written in English. So the New Testament was written in Greek. So hang on, we're going to do a little word search here. Just a sec. So here's a funny thing. I don't know why they translated the word easy because it doesn't say easy. It is. That's really like if you look up something in the dictionary or I use the Thayer's or Strong's concordance, and it'll have several meanings, and easy is like way down the list. Not even. It's not what it means. It doesn't mean my yoke is easily. Here's what it means. This might blow the mind. It blew my mind when I read it because I didn't know. Fit for use, useful, virtuous, good. That's in the Thayer's, and in the Strong's it means useful. And then yoke, hang on. First of all, useful. So it means useful. So it doesn't mean easy. It means, well, take my yoke. Why? Because it's useful. It's good. Not because it's easy. Isn't that crazy? Why did they translate it easy? It doesn't mean easy. It doesn't mean, it's not easy to follow Jesus, guys. It's useful. It's fit. It's good. He gives us peace in our heart, but it's not easy. Isn't that a trip? It's not easy to pick up your cross and follow him. It's not easy to take up the yoke. It's useful. It's fit. It's good. It's I forgot what the other word was. There's another word there, like pleasant. It, it might be pleasant. No, it wasn't pleasant. It's the Bible uses it. It says to mean easy, but then the word just means useful. That's crazy. Good. So it might be good or valuable, but it's not. It's not like without the yoke is not without stress. It's not easy that way. It's useful. It's good. It's valuable, right? So continuing on in this word search of that one passage, the other word I think was yoke. Yeah, yoke. It means exactly what you think it means. It means being tied to another in a burden. That's what it means. So by yoke is just like you think what it means. It means a yoke, like when you put a yoke on an ox. We don't really have ox. They do have what they call carabao here, which looks a lot like a little ox, and they put yokes on them and they use them to plow their fields and whatnot. You don't see every now and then. It's like an old school thing. So you'll see a guy riding a carabao, or pulling a cart or something on the side of the highway. So take up the burden of a fellowship with God, in other words, and it'd be very useful. That's what it means. Take up, let's see, burden. We don't like that word. Let's see if we have a nicer word. I'm trying to make it nice for you guys. Uh, Coupling, service. So make me a service to you, God, and it'll be useful. It'll be good. Make me. That's what it means. Take up my yoke, for it is easy. Give me your service, Lord, for it is good. So, right? And then it says, my burden is light, right? So let's see if I think I did that too. Burden means obligation. Burden means a task. Be coupled with the Lord. Take up your service, for it is useful and good. And the task that He gives you, burden, the task that He gives you, right? Not just something that happens to you, but the task He gives you. And then the word light just means light. I already looked it up. So it just means. And then the task that He gives you. So I think what it means is this: when you accept that you're His and that you are of service to Him, then that's a useful thing. And then the task that He gives you, in other words, you're created for good works, then the good works will be light. What does that mean? I can tell you exactly what that means. Having experienced it. Abundant life doesn't mean what you think it means. It doesn't mean cars and stuff and a happy life and a family and a good, strong nation. It doesn't mean that. That's not what abundant life means. Abundant life is about your soul and your spirit and your heart. You could be a poverty-stricken, lonely person and still have abundant life. Why? Because you're doing the will of God. That's what it means. Jesus said, I have other food you don't know about. Give us today our daily bread. Well, Jesus said, I have other food. What's the other food? And by the way, we're supposed to be like Him. So what other food do we have? To do the will of the Father. And let me tell you something, friends. Whenever I'm in His will, and you know you're in His will, it's hard to explain. I can tell you there's several instances. Whenever we have kids in the house, we're doing Bible studies many times. When I know I'm in His will, then it's light. It's not a burden. And also, I've been listening to Elizabeth Elliot a lot lately. She's really good. Do the next thing. Do the menial task. You don't want to do it. I was complaining this morning about something, and then later on I got a better attitude. Um, but when you do the menial task and you realize that this is also something I can do all things to glorify God, right? So the burden can be light, right? What does this have to do with crosses? Well, it's the same thing. So dying to self. So for me, I always talking about, well, that's your flesh. That's your flesh. Die to your flesh. Die to your flesh. Right? And it is that. It is dying to your flesh. It is, you know, we've not only been saved from eternal death, but we've also been saved from sin if we walk in Him. Right? So denying yourself is also not just your sin, but walking away from the world and walking away from normal life. That's what it means. And what is that? Well, that's the task He's given us. Well, why has He given us that task? Can't I just live a normal life? And as somebody once told me, was, well, yeah, but what if they're just a plumber and they can barely make, or what I think he used the term electrician or something. They just have a job, a trade, and they're trying to support their family, and all they do is work and sleep and eat and pray every now and then. What do you expect them to do? It's like I expect them to do all that stuff to the glory of God, but I expect them to have love in their heart for their mankind, and I expect them to lead their fellow workers to Christ, because why? That's the task we've been given, whatever's in front of us, guys. So the yoke, the coupling with Christ, in other words, He's my Lord, is useful, is purposeful. Huh? What about the cross? Well, the cross is the same thing. Here's what I'm trying to tell you. It's useful, it's purposeful. The task that He's given us, what? It's a task that He's given us, what? To turn to Him, to follow Him, to love others. That's all I got about this, guys. I think it's pretty cool. It's good to look up words. If something's bothering you in Scripture and it doesn't, like, how could it be easy at the same time be so hard? Because of the Lord, for one thing, but because it's useful, because that's for the purpose that we're here. That's the purpose over here, the task that He created for us. God bless you guys. Talk for now.